You definitely made a lot of people happy by saying a balanced attack doesn't mean that it's a conservative attack. Shane, I've been really curious about just something that's taken place in the NFL over the last couple of years, and I was curious for your thoughts on it. 2017, 2018, that Rams offense, it's arguably the best in the NFL, and over the last couple of seasons, it has fallen back to the rest of the pack. What happened?
I think the league it's a good league, right? It's a 50-50 league. If it was up to the if it was up to the way the thing's structured, everyone would be 8-8 every year, and you'd be battling on that last Sunday to end up in the playoffs or not. So I do think there's a cyclical element to the league. There's some years where we were really, really hot, and then some years where we ended up playing a little bit more like this past year, some more complimentary football in LA when our defense was playing really well. So, every year each team is going to be different. They're going to be built different. The 21 Seahawks are going to be built different than the 2020 Seahawks. But I think, just like the, you can talk about the offensive production and stuff like that, but, when it comes down to wins and losses in this league, I think the one thing I am proud of, and I, had so much respect for how Sean McVay was able to build a culture and build a program in LA that was able to sustain success. And to me, a successful football team is if one side is not, doing great one game, there's still special teams and defense that can pick it up. It's how does the team play complementary football together. So, there's things that go into every year, and then that's where I'm excited to go into Seattle now with what I have seen from afar and now getting a chance to meet everyone, that has a culture there second to none that's built to compete and builds everything around that competitive nature of things. And I think that's what's able to allow them to sustain the success that they have over this long period of time.
We're talking to Shane Waldron here. He's Seattle's new offensive coordinator. We got just a couple more.
Shane, I'm sorry to keep bringing you back to Los Angeles, but, you go on from Jared Goff to Russell Wilson. There's been a lot of talk about Jared Goff in the last couple of days, and I'm sure that you have a vision for what kind of offense ideally you want to see out on a football field that you're calling the plays for. Was Jared Goff a fit for that offense that you were a part of?
Yeah, I think Jared did a great job. I mean, we won a lot of games with Jared and obviously able to get to a Super Bowl. And I think the great thing about, when you talk about offensive systems, or schemes, all that stuff is, even getting to LA that first year, there's a system that's in place, but the players make the system, right? So each year, each team is a little different, like I talked about earlier. And I think, starting with the quarterback position, no two quarterbacks are exactly the same, right? So everyone's going to have a little different skill set. And then I think that's where it's our job as coaches to take that system and then understand what the players can do and really build it around their strengths. And so that's where, Jared did a great job for us there. Like I said, won a lot of games, was always tough as hell, always got up, always kept playing. And, I'm excited. I'll be supportive of him throughout his career and what he gets to do now in Detroit. But moving forward for 2021 with Russell Wilson, he's a guy that couldn't be more excited about it in terms of the things you talk about, what he can do. I mean, I would say it's just about everything. And so I think with his competitive nature and getting a chance to speak with him a little bit about, his big picture view of life and how he views what he wants to achieve. I mean, this is a guy that wants to be at the top of his game every single day, no matter what day of the year it is. And I think that's a great situation for myself, obviously, to walk into. And so that's where it's just a matter now of, okay, we know he can do a lot of different things. How can we really start to structure this thing around him and create an offense where he feels comfortable with it, where he feels like he can have full ownership by that first game. And, like I said, there'll be some challenges with that depending on, how the league structure works out with the off-season program. But, the thing with that is, the great thing with the NFL, everyone's dealing with the same issues, right? So, whatever the circumstances are, we'll work and we'll look to compete in those situations to win every single day of the off season as well and try to do it as better than anybody in the world.
My last